Definitely a lot of dedication here in this part of the Aquaristic showroom. How's it going, you guys? It's Jake Adams, and I am at the second stop here on day 2 of my Australian aquarium tour. And I am at a very fine all-purpose aquarium shop called Aquaristic, and this place is loaded with just a real incredible diversity. It's starting to become a theme here at Australian aquarium stores where if it's a good shop, they're going to have a little bit of everything. So there's a beautiful showroom with a variety of different aquarium displays: freshwater, saltwater, planet tanks, aquascapes, and even this beautiful terrarium. So here's a really nice sorted African cichlid aquarium. Looks like we have a variety of different peacocks, some really cool strains, and some large clown loaches to round things out. Appears to be some exotic sorts of peacocks that I'm not familiar with. This one's really pretty. You got some haps, hap compressiceps, and a few others. But right over here is the terrarium. I don't even know if I saw any reptiles or amphibians in here, but the foliage of this tank is really nice. And what do we have for lighting? There's some basic LED lighting, some misters, and a lot of amphibious plants, and a small aquatic zone that includes, let's see, we got a penguin tetra. I'm sure I spotted some cories, but like I said, there's a lot of seeds, so we're going to keep it moving. This is a really nice planet aquarium. Some of these, what I'm starting to notice too, is a lot of shops are turning over their displays pretty quickly. So what's cool is these tanks are using a variety of LED lights. Here we have the Illumagic Blaze Mini. We got a Castle, let's see, Castle A160 Tuna Sun, and a pair of primes. And each display is just a little bit different. This one is a hardcore Iwagumi style aquarium with a big pile of Seru stones. That is definitely some dedication to put a tank together like this, with some glossostigma all along the bottom. And this aquarium is really cool, really green. And one thing that really grabbed my attention is this Utricularia graminifolia, aka UG, growing right out of the moss. And there's a variety of small fishes and shrimp, some Bucephalandra. So yeah, right when you walk inside, there's a lot to see. And I love the obvious presentation of the stainless steel canister filter with a beautiful, cute little tiny feed pump powering it. So that's really cool. Nice involved CO2 delivery system to handle all the tanks from one CO2 cylinder, and one spiral type bubble counter with a ruby check valve. So really cool. Definitely a lot of dedication here in this part of the Aquaristic showroom. This is a tank that is in progress. They say they're going to make that a planet tank, but in the meantime, here's a beautiful Red Sea aquarium with a variety of animals, a lot of corals, fish, and vertebrates, and a couple clams here on the side. Very nice. Been looking at this tank for a little while, and there's a really nice diversity of corallimorphs, mushroom anemones. This tank is lit with some AI, let's see, Hydra 52s, and something I'm starting to see in Australia quite a bit are these gold tip elegans corals. Gold tip elegans are pretty rare in America. They pop up once in a while, but here they definitely seem to be the norm and not the exception. So fabulous display tank here, the Red Sea Reefer. It looks like we have some specialty freshwater fish here. I spotted a variety of different Epistogramas here on this top row. So that's kind of odd to see, or rare to see, in all but the most specialized of aquarium shops. Really cool. Here looks like we got some fancy guppies, and the main checkout area of Aquaristic. Now, there's a lot of plants for sale here in this store, and what's cool about this shop is they don't specialize in anything, they specialize in everything. I've seen some plants, hibiscus, goldfish, and this is quite an impressive spread of freshwater aquarium plants if I've ever seen it. We'll give it a good look here from above. Very, very nice. And there's a wide variety of aquarium-specific products here to suit the needs. And again, one of these crazy 6-way CO2 manifolds that you know, I've seen in catalogs, but they're really put into good use on their varied Planet Aquarium displays here at Aquaristic. Another look at the African cichlid tank from this side, and we're going to dip down this aisle briefly and show you a couple of the specialty sections. So they've got a really good diversity of discus, man. There's some really good looking ones in here. These Marlboro red discus here with a beautiful red color, small eye, and just a beautiful, beautiful body shape. Here are some eruptions and some yellow melon discus, again with that same beautiful body shape, that small eye, and then just a really, really healthy appearance and disposition. There's a few more up there, some pigeon blood styles, and but one thing that really caught my attention, I've seen this very rarely in aquarium stores, is I'm guessing these are L66 King Tiger Plecos, but there's several generations of babies all throughout the aquarium. Here you can see the parents sticking out of the breeder cave, but this tank is absolutely crawling with baby Plecos. Really rare sight, super cool to see. And you know, just keeping on the same motif, this is kind of the beta corner. A lot of different betas for sale here. Everything from your basic, you know, $5 starter betas. We've got half moons, veil tails, placots. We've got some dragon placots, some metallics. Just, it's really, really cool to see, like, again, the type of store that specializes in everything, and even the products for betas are concentrated in this area. So over on this side is a long row of tanks for freshwater fish, and there's a little bit of everything in here. I'm starting to be surprised that I'm not seeing too many Australian rainbows, because Australia is definitely blessed with a diversity of rainbow fish species, but that's okay. There's still a lot of really cool fish here. Here we're getting into the African cichlid section, and you know, I've seen a lot of different African cichlids, but one species that I'm not familiar with is this beautiful, beautiful Cynotilapia king sazii. And this guy right here looks like he's got a little hole cleaned up for himself, and just practically in breeding coloration, just absolutely popping macking colors. I really like Pseudotropheus, now Metriaclima demisoni, but although these guys are bigger and meaner, I would totally consider keeping these in my home aquarium. So that's a cool new sighting for myself. Again, there's a little bit of everything, and here's some really, really nice goldfish, some really extreme ryukins, and some lion heads. What else do we have? Got some bubble eyes. We got some big bubbly goldfish that seem to be pretty popular here in Australia. They're actually kind of falling out of favor with the American aquarists. You don't see the fancy goldfish too much anymore. So we've got another display tank here that features a variety of really, really cool creatures. What I love about this tank is there's no wet dry on it. It's just run simply by water flow and a good Toonsy protein skimmer lit with an XR15 Radion. And again, with the gold torch. Really, really cool specimen. And it's right next to the pink torch, and maybe even like a purple tip torch. So that really goes to show you how different these yellow tip torches are. I'm really, really liking that. And it's a really classy touch to have some clownfish hosting in them. And it's funny because there's a rose bubble tip right here, and they're not going in it either way. But another really remarkable animal is this macropolyp orange hammer coral. I don't think I've ever seen it with such overgrown tentacles before. And just caught sight of this twin spot goby right here. I love these guys. I really should try to get one for my aquarium. That's really cool to see. All right, so that kind of wraps it up for the front end of the store. There's a lot of showy stuff. We're gonna make it across the back. What I'm gonna do is walk all the way to the back, do a little brief scan of the aquarium products, and then we'll see what kind of coils this shop has in store. One of the first things I want to show you is this beautiful display case that has a variety of unique boutique glass accessories. So primarily for the shrimp specialists and the aquascaping specialists. And if there's something that they can make out of glass, they definitely have. So there's something about the aquascapers that I don't think they're keeping tanks specifically just to grow plants, but also just to have a lot of neat glass toys. I wish we had more of these kind of things in the saltwater aquarium hobby. So this glass display case has a lot of unique products. We're gonna keep it moving here. Again, a really great supply of aquascaping materials, from driftwood to rootwood. Got some lava rock, some lace rock, whatever this red stone is. Looks like petrified wood maybe. What do we have here? Some petrified wood. This gnarly gray stone is pretty cool too. And then yeah, you got some, you know, some typical rows of aquarium products. And I'm really making a point of showing you this at every store that I go to, because it's neat to see some of the things that are very similar with what we keep in the aquarium hobby in the United States, and then a handful of other aquarium products that I'm not familiar with or haven't made it to the United States yet. So, okay, we're at the back of the shop. We're gonna pass through another row of aquarium products. It looks like we have a variety of hardware here on the left. Looks like Toonsy and Aquamedic are pretty well represented. And a Continuum. This is the biggest spread of Continuum products I've ever seen. I think it look really, really good. Right next to, yeah, look, oh my goodness, I don't think I've seen this many Continuum products even at the trade show. No, Jeremy's gonna love this plug. Look at all those things. I didn't realize they looked so good stocked on edge like that. So again, AquaL is a company we're not super familiar with in the United States, but here in Australia, they seem to be a very popular brand right alongside some Eheim products. So, all right. So we're going to wind it down a little bit here with a view of their corals. And so far, I believe that Aquaristic has the most corals that I've seen of any shop. And what's really cool is that the presentation of these corals is very similar to how we would have them in the United States. So we have these nice, broad, open coral flats, basically. However, instead of having kind of calm water at top, so you can look at them from above, the water is actually pretty ripping, so you're still dependent on looking through the side of the tank. Again, Australia does not permit the importation of corals. So all of the corals you see here are Australian species. And that is not a problem, because there's a lot of really good diversity of Australian corals. And man, there's some corals here that I'd love to take home. Oh, actually, I'm going to wrap it up with that tank at the end. So as I was saying, there's a diversity of corals here in Australia that doesn't leave you wanting for much. So, for example, the Symphilia wilsoni, there's a whole bunch of different specimens, and they're priced at $85 Australian. And compare that to America right now, where a decent colony is going to cost you closer to $300 US. So these guys are lucky to have a really good supply of Australophilia wilsoni. And here's some mini scolies. They're 25 bucks Australian. So yeah, I would definitely stock up my tank with a whole bunch of those if I was home. There's a beautiful little red tentacled Tenactus there in the corner. Got some micromusas. Nice little orange Leptostraeas, and you can't really see it there in the cup, but there's a Melanophilia coral that I haven't seen single polyps of from Australia in quite a long time. So, but I guess these guys are here in Australia, and they can get them. Here is a spread of Euphilia. Well, once again, a very common theme, both in America and here in Australia. But they have all different colors in stock, and they're quite a bit more affordable than what I would be used to seeing. So. Yesterday I showed you this super expensive cleaner shrimp at Majestic Aquariums, but today I really was floored to see the prices on these clams. Because the clams, these look like some pretty standard issue specimens and species, but the prices are really, really astronomical. I don't even know how anyone can afford to buy clams here in Australia. That big squamosa clam, which is kind of nondescript and no one would be fighting to get it in America, is $400, and some smaller ones are at $500. So just goes to show you, rarity is all relative to geography. So We're gonna wind down the tour here of Aquaristic with a look at one of their nicer looking reef tanks. This is a Sps Coral Biotope. Seems to me like the SPS corals with bright light are still really popular here in Australia, and this is a beautiful display. It's lit with a Kessel AP700, and there's some really beautiful corals in here. It looks like we have a kind of a smooth skin, thick branching Acropora locani right there, and a really nice kind of thick stubby tort that's really been grabbing my attention every time I pass by this tank. So really cool to see. I guess we have one more coral tank. There's really a lot of stuff stuck in here. So one more coral tank here on the side, which hosts a variety of SPS corals for sale. These are not super full colonies, but basically colony pieces. And those are the size of Australian Acropora frags right there. So quite a bit bigger and grown out than what we would expect. I'm gonna need to go back and ask them where these frags are from, because they look really good, and I kind of like that thick base and that well encrusted appearance. So yeah, a lot of familiar Australian corals here in Australia, no surprise. And yeah, so this is what an aquarium shop looks like in Australia. This is Aquaristic. So that's going to wrap up my tour here of Aquaristic. One of the nicer aquarium shops. Actually, all the shops that I've been going to so far have been really nice. But I'm going to wrap it up here at the end of the shop because they just got a bunch of customers and it's starting to get a little crowded up front. But as you can see, Australia is definitely not lacking for cool aquarium products, cool livestock, maybe not so lucky with the cleaner shrimp and the clams. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my tour of the fish stores here in Australia. If you like this video, definitely make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, because I'm sure I'm going to be seeing a whole lot more cool stuff here in my time in Australia. So thanks again for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one.